It's the Good News Wednesday show. Come on, kids, it's time to roll. Tell everybody that you know. Watch the Good News Wednesday show. Good News Wednesday's finally here. Let's stand up and give a cheer. Watch the boredom disappear, 'cause Good News Wednesday's here.
Hi, and good evening, everyone. This is Karen Donovan, your host of the Good News Wednesday show, brought to you every Wednesday to hopefully put a smile on your face and help you get through the rest of your week. We've got some exciting segments tonight that I think you're going to enjoy, and we always start out with the question of the week. So tonight we have a question that shouldn't take but a second to answer. How many seconds are in a year? Take a second to think about it. Our question is, how many seconds are there in a year? Well, there's 12, of course. January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December 2nd. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? I think you're getting to know my modus operandi with these questions, if you've been watching. And now on to something of greater import. I would imagine that if you thought about it and closed your eyes, you could remember a magical moment or two in your life. That's what we're going to be talking about tonight on Strategies for a Happy Life. You know how they often say life is short. And I'm sure with the tragic events that have happened the last few weeks with all of the mass shootings, many people have come to that unfortunate realization. And so we think about, what are the things that people remember when they have lost a loved one through a tragic event or just a natural event? They remember those magic moments. If you close your eyes and think about it, I bet there's a time in your life when a snapshot comes to mind of a situation that occurred where something really wonderful happened and you had a great experience with those that you love and care about. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, is magical moments and how to create them. Since life is so short, how about thinking about some ways to create some magical moments so that you and your loved ones will have those memories and they can live on? I've got 3 tips that I've been thinking about this week about how to create those magical moments. First of all, have an adventure. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about a big cruise, a Disney vacation, a trip to Hawaii. It doesn't have to be that. It can be a short road trip. You'll save gas and maybe go see something that is close to you, but something that you haven't seen before. Maybe a park, maybe even a downtown restaurant, that you haven't visited before, that has some unique kind of food or experience. It's being with the people that you care about and love that's the most important, and doing something a little out of the ordinary. And don't forget to snap some photos and get some souvenirs, because this way you'll have mementos that'll be ingrained in your mind and be like those magical moments. And I saw some really cool ideas with photographs that you can arrange on a memory wall at your house so that people can then enjoy those memories over and over again. Okay, now, number 2, just say no. You know, a lot of people never take the time to smell the roses or the coffee. How about taking that time and making sure to carve it out of your daily life, so that instead of being so busy with work and running around and busy work, that you take the time to just spend with those you love and care about and smell those roses. Enjoy that coffee. Turn off your cell phone. Don't look at your smartwatch. And turn off Netflix for a little while, just to enjoy each other and just say no. Now, number 3 is kind of cool, and it got me interested in knowing about celebrations, because that's what we want to talk about. We want to talk about making magic moments by actually celebrating something, and it could be big or small. It could be, a child's accomplishment of something. It could be a promotion at work. It could be something new that you bought for your home, and take the time out to, enjoy it and make it a special occasion. I started looking into some special holidays and celebrations around the world that were different, and maybe these will give you some ideas. I thought they were really cool, and you'd be surprised at the smallest things that can make people excited. So, the first celebration, unusual celebration that I'm going to talk about, it takes place in Thailand, and it's called the Songkran Water Festival. And guess what they celebrate? Water. And they have water fights and balloon fights, and it's the whole community in mid-April, and they get together and they enjoy that time. I guess it's the springtime, and they enjoy that. They take to the streets with with buckets of water and balloons, and take aim at their fun-loving pals. And it's interesting that someone would make a celebration out of that. I mean, it's kind of like when we have the bucket challenge, So don't forget about the Songkran Water Festival when you go to Thailand next. Now, number 2, this one takes the cake. This is called La Tomatina, and it takes place in Spain. Now, you know what a tomatina is? Tomato. I guess they have a lot of spare tomatoes in Spain. I didn't know this. But if you go to the Valencian town of Buñol the last Wednesday in August, you will witness a very interesting event. It is a tomato fight, and all the people throw tomatoes at each other. And that is their celebration. Now, some of these things we could get into in an interesting kind of a way. Possibly if it's with a bunch of fun-loving kids, I think they would enjoy it very much. Might be some good tips. Smashed tomatoes. I don't know how you get those out of your clothes. Now, the last but not least of my unusual celebrations is the Holi Festival of Color in India. And this is again another one that's very interesting. This is a Hindu celebration of the triumph of good over evil and the arrival of spring. Holi is catching on as a color powdered paint throwing party. Now, I don't think it's wet paint like we do paintballs. This is dry paint. And when it hits people and it mixes with the other colors, it makes for some very interesting decorations on your body. And the good news is that you don't have to go to India to enjoy this, because it seems as though they have the Holi Festival of Color parties in places like Boston, Chicago, Houston, or any number of other major cities. So you may want to check. So those are some interesting celebrations. What about making an interesting celebration of your own so that you can make magical memories? It seems to me that life is too short to waste it on inattention, annoyance, and impatience with our family, friends, and fellow man. Why not turn the ordinary into extraordinary? And then those magical moments will live on in the hearts and minds of yourself and those you love and care about. So let's say that you have enjoyed some magical moments and you might have spent a little money along the way and charged it on your credit card. How do we keep those moments magical when we examine our credit card? That's what we're going to be talking about today on Real Estate Corner. First of all, there are several things that I don't know that people understand about credit cards that I thought I'd share with you. There were things that were interesting to me, and I thought they might be also helpful to you. The first one is interest rates. Now, you know that they charge you a monthly fee if you don't pay your balance in full every month. Did you know, and there's something I just said, that it isn't necessarily every 30 days that you get charged for those fees? There are some cards where you could actually be charged after 14 days, 21 days, 28 days, and then you're going to end up paying a penalty because you didn't pay your credit card off in time. So check on your credit card and make sure that you only get charged for interest on balances that are longer than 30 days, or at least 30 days, so that this way you won't have to pay an exorbitant amount of interest. Number two, did you know that credit card interest rates can be changed arbitrarily by the credit card company? Now, especially now when interest rates are going up for the mortgages and car loans and so on, I won't be surprised if I hear that interest rates are hiking up for credit cards as well. Check with your credit card company to make sure that your interest rate remains the same, and that if it does go up, you will be notified in time so that you won't get hit with a big interest rate hike. Number three, did you know that when you cancel your credit card, your credit score could go down? Now, that does seem counterintuitive, doesn't it? You would think that if you cancel a credit card and that's one less credit card where you can spend money, that, well, your credit score should go up, right? Well, nope, the opposite happens. When you cancel a credit card, especially when there's a very low balance on it, it somehow triggers the credit card company or the credit score company to think there's something going on. And so they actually lower your credit score. So don't cancel any credit cards unless it has a high annual fee, in which case you may want to consider canceling those, especially the ones you don't use. Last but not least, with credit cards, you know that if there is a fraudulent charge on your card, that you hopefully will not be charged for it. But there are some caveats with that. You must notify the credit card company. First of all, notify them right away if you think your card is lost or stolen. That's number one. Number two, if you check you should, and I learned this kind of the hard way. You should check your credit charges on more than a monthly basis. You should check them at least every week and make sure that the charges on there are valid charges that you made. If you see anything that looks even a little fraudulent, you should contact your credit card company right away. We had this happen with our business, and we didn't even lose our card. It was a totally fraudulent thing. They got on and charged like $8,000 for lighting and construction equipment in another state. And of course, our credit card company agreed with us, and we weren't charged for it. But there was quite a rigmarole involved. We had to file a police report and a lot of other things. So make sure to check your credit card statements and go online and do that throughout the month so that you can make sure and monitor them and make sure that nothing's been charged to you that wasn't yours. Now, like I said, if you report it, the credit card company will probably just reverse the charge and then you won't get hit for it. However, remember, this only applies to a credit card and not to a debit card. Debit card, once it's charged, it's gone. It's spent. It's taken right out of your account. Okay, so that's how to keep some magic going on while still using your credit cards when you take that super duper vacation or enjoy yourself to make those magical moments this year. So, speaking of magical moments, now is time for our virtual trivia contest, which we have each week. And if you'd like to get a preview of what's going on this week, just shoot me an email at karen@homesbydonovan.com, and I'll be happy to send out our Monday morning wake up newsletter, which gives you not only the preview to the trivia question for the week, so you can enter into our contest, but you can also check out some inspiring tips and information to get your week started on Monday morning. That's why it's called Monday Morning Wake Up. Okay, so today we are talking about magical moments, and the question is, of these famous magicians, which is the one that made an elephant disappear? A, Harry Houdini, B, David Copperfield, C, Siegfried and Roy, and D, Penn and Teller. And the answer is Harry Houdini, A. This was one of his lesser known magic tricks. He's more well known for ones where he's put in a straitjacket and thrown underwater and getting locked in different places in crucial times where he has to get out before he gets killed. But this one was an interesting one way, way back. And check it out sometime. You'll see the great magical tricks of Harry Houdini. Now, that's not to say that the rest of the magicians didn't have some interesting tricks, but we picked that one out. And so the answer this week for our trivia is A, Harry Houdini. Thanks for playing. Don't forget that if you liked our show and you're watching on Facebook, please press like. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up, or also subscribe to our channel and ring the red bell so that you'll get notified of upcoming episodes. We enjoyed our time together tonight. We hope that you make it a great rest of the week And until then, this is Karen Donovan with Good News Wednesday.
Good News Wednesday's finally here. Let's stand up